You know, I always see people in the rock and metal community always being like, oh, where's the new Tool album? Oh, where's the new System of a Down record? A Perfect Circle hasn't put out a studio album since 2004. That's a longer span than both Tool and System of a Down's last records. Just let that sink in. What is up, everybody? My name is Justin French, covering music for those who care, and right now take a look at the new album, finally, from A Perfect Circle, this one entitled Eat the Elephant. I just want to make a quick disclaimer before we get started with the actual review. I did a Ranked in Peace episode on the A Perfect Circle discography. For those of you who are new to the channel and wonder what the heck is Ranked in Peace, sounds like a Megadeth ripoff. That's basically my ranking series where I rank a band or artist's albums from their worst or weakest record to their best. And anyways, yeah, just throwing that up in the air, and let's go ahead and get started with this review. Man, has it been a while since we got the last A Perfect Circle album. The last one they did was in 2004, which was entitled Emotive, and Emotive was more of this political covers record, I would say, and it's so coincidental because this album came out on election day of that year. Coincidence? I think not. Sorry, had to. But anyways, going back into this review, the band went on hiatus around the time after that album came out, and then reformed in 2010, but did a bunch of touring, so they didn't really do very much in the studio. They only released one new song, which was back in 2013 off the Greatest Hits album they did, 360, which was entitled Buying Down, which there's actually an alternative version of that song, Buying Down the River, on this album, so I'll talk about that soon. And yeah, in 2017, we got a new announcement that not only had the band signed to a new label, BMG Rights Management, but the announcement of more tour dates and a new album. And whenever I saw that announcement, I was immediately hyped and immediately excited for this album because, man, has it been a while since we heard anything from this band. So, and then this is usually the part of the video where I kind of talk into detail about the singles, what I think about them, how they sound, how they contrast, how they compare to one another. But I'm just going to sum them up very briefly because they have all really blown me away. And I could talk all day about how good they are, but that'd probably take up about a good 23 hours. So I'm just going to give you a brief summary of what I think about them. The Doomed was my favorite song of 2017. Disillusioned is easily a contender for top song of 2018 so far. TalkTalk for me has had the most replay value. And So Long and Thanks for All the Fish has the most unique and different sound from really anything from this band's catalog. So now that we got the singles kind of wrapped up, what did I think about the rest of the record? Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and say that Eat the Elephant is one of, if not the best record of 2018 so far. And such a great comeback for this band in 2018. One of the reasons why I love this album is because of the sound of it. I really love the more stripped back approach compared to the past three records that we've gotten from the band. But at the same time, it mixes the three elements from those records, which are the heavier side of Murder Gnomes, the melodic and mellow dynamics of 13th Step, and the ambient feeling of Emotive, and combines those three with the stripped back approach for this record, and really you get Eat the Elephant in a nutshell, musically. Another thing that I really enjoy about this album is James Iha's piano contributions to this record. I think he does a pretty fantastic job with what he contributed to the band here on this record, and I like the piano is more at the forefront here on this record. There's at least one moment here on this album through all the 12 songs you're getting here where the piano shines through at least once in every single song. Heck, the album opens up with a piano ballad, which is the title track here, Eat the Elephant. And I think this is a really nice song to really show off the atmosphere that the album is going for. And I like that it kind of starts off a bit jazzy. It kind of sounded like that in the beginning, in my opinion. But I really like the sound of this song. Maynard has a very, very nice vocal approach here in this song. I really love Maynard's vocal delivery here on this album too. Sounds fantastic to hear him again. And another thing that I enjoy too is even in some of the softer moments here on this record, Maynard still knows how to deliver an angrier kind of approach, whether it is musically or lyrically. Now, I did say there was an alternate version of Buying Down here on this record, Buying Down the River, and not very much has really changed from that track, honestly. I mean, there are some little bit of changes here and there, like, it kind of feels a bit faster, but that's because the intro is kind of more piano-based. The violin string section that was in the original song really isn't there, kind of replaced with more ambient guitars. And I feel like the bridge of the song just kind of goes a bit quicker with the staccato riff that plays, so not very much has changed. So if you still enjoy Buying Down, I think you're still going to enjoy the album version here. It's just a little bit of changes. Now, I will still stand by my statement of saying that So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is still amongst the more unique songs that are on this record. Heck, maybe even the catalog of A Perfect Circle. Because, for one thing, this does not sound completely like the band. This sounds so fresh, so unique amongst it, because it has more of an upbeat feel compared to the rest of this record. And I really love the topic of, you know, all the Hollywood deaths that have been going around as of lately, just kind of all of a sudden. So I think it's a really kind of nice payoff, but at the same time kind of makes me think that the title is a bit sarcastic, honestly. And I just learned too, should have mentioned this in the review, but just learned it now, that this is actually, the title is a reference to one of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books, which is of the same name. And the reason why they decided to do this song on this record is because Maynard pretty much thought, hey, they're probably going to hate it, so why not? The Contrarian is a pretty interesting song musically because it opens with an instrument that I never would have expected to even be in an A Perfect Circle album or even a song. They open the song up with a harp, which is pretty interesting, and then it kind of leads into the drums and the piano fills that plays throughout the rest of the song, which I really enjoy that song really musically. It sounds a bit darker. And then you get to The Doomed, which reminds me of the more mellow dynamics of, I would say, 13th Step and the ambient feel of Emotive. And I really like the combination of both of those things, along with adding the bells, the chimes, the xylophone in it. It just gives it more of a grandiose feel in it. And I love Maynard's vocal delivery here. It still kind of sounds angry for a more mellow approach of a song. And I love the topic that he sings about too, which is kind of having to do with politicians. And this was really a nice introduction for what to expect on this record. And then the heaviest moment that we have here on this record is, of course, the single Talk Talk, which was released back in February. And this song, for me, had the most replay value out of all of the songs, or the singles that had come out before it, before So Long and Thanks for All the Fish had come around, because I really love the more heavier dynamic of the song, along with really me memorizing the lyrics. I can't go in my car without hearing this song at least once a day. I just really love the kind of political message that it has of it, with all these politicians that are, you know, thinking they're bigger than Jesus, with Maynard kind of telling them, you know, walk like Jesus, talk like Jesus, walk your talk, or get the fuck out of my way, pretty much, with that kind of approach. And I love the scream near the end of the song, and also that moment at the end almost reminded me of Sober from Tool. And then another moment that I kind of honestly thought was going to be a skippable track, but really was an interesting one, was track 9, DLB, which is more of a little piano interlude. And I thought it was just going to be, you know, nothing really new, nothing really interesting, but in the context of this record, it still has the darker nature along with the really, really nice piano dynamics here. Such a pretty interesting song. And Delicious, for me, really has the best vocal delivery, in my opinion, that Maynard delivers here. And this is one of the moments where Maynard doesn't really sound that angry, and kind of goes off against ignorant people, even saying in one line, "But you don't give a damn," which is pretty interesting. So overall, y'all, this has to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite album of 2018 so far. I really like the whole kind of idea of the album being about pretty much our society here in 2018. And also, I really love the change up of the piano being more at the forefront of this record, Eat the Elephant. I also love the adding the three dynamics that made the Other 3 albums from the band's catalog stand out into this one, which kind of had more of a stripped-back approach in my opinion, which is still pretty fantastic. I love Maynard James Keenan's vocal delivery here on this record. I think he does a fantastic job. Even in the more mellow moments, he could still sound the angriest. So yeah, I think the musicianship here on this record too, I forgot to mention it, pretty fantastic. I love the drum, the bass work, and when the guitars shine through, it really shines through in my opinion. So overall, definitely a favorite of mine for the year. But anyways, y'all, what are your thoughts on Eat the Elephant? Definitely comment in the comment section down below. And anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you all for watching this video. As always, thanks to Infinity on Hannah for these awesome designs. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click right over there to catch up on more content on this channel. If you want to see a previous video that I did, you can click right over there to see that video. And if you want to follow any of my social media links, they are linked down at the bottom. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you soon.